Hello everyone, welcome to the channel where we provide that financial education and information. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about why we don't own houses, we only control them. That's right, we don't own them, we only control them. I'm going to ruffle some feathers here, but this is the truth, and I'm going to explain why I say that. And it's for two reasons. It's because of, one, taxes, and two, mortgage. So because of taxes and mortgage, we don't actually own houses, we control them. Now, before I go into both of these, I do want to explain why I say that. Just think of this scenario. Let's say you go to the electronics store and you buy a television. You purchase the television and you pay the taxes that comes with it, the sales tax. You now own that television. No one can legally take that television away from you because you own it. If you go to the sneaker store and you purchase a sneaker and you pay for the sneaker and the sales tax, you now own the sneaker. No one could legally take it away from you. So is anything else that you buy, food, clothing, any of that. Once you purchase those things and you pay for the tax that comes along with it, you own those. Not the case with a house though. You can pay for a house and you still don't own it. All right, so let's go into these two reasons, and I want to cover mortgage first. So let's say you have a 30-year mortgage, right? All right, so you have a 30-year mortgage and you paid up 20 years of it. 20 years of it, right? And then you began to get into some financial trouble. Life happened, things happen to people, right? You know, we don't always see what's going to happen, and sometimes we get into hard times, right? So let's say 20 years of paying it, but you get into hard times. This mortgager could now foreclose on the house and take the whole house. So you paid 66.66%, right? 66.6% of the house, but the mortgager could now take the whole house. Any lien that's on the house, even if you paid 80%, 90%, they could now foreclose on that house because of the lien, because the house itself is a collateral for money that's owed to them. So once you owe them money, they can foreclose and they could take that house, right? Doesn't seem fair. In this case, it's no different from renting it. You know, you're paying for 20 years, 25 years, and they could still come and take it because they still have a lien on the house. It's like paying rent, right? So you do have an option, though. You do have an option to sell it, and then you can pay them back whatever lien, and the difference you get to keep for yourself. So you do have an option, but that's control. That's not ownership. If they could take it from you for whatever reason, you know, while you're there, you don't really own it, right? But you do get to control it. So you do have an option here at least. When it comes to taxes, though, many people are not aware that taxes is actually first position on your mortgage, on your house. First position on your house in terms of a lien. So what that means is that regardless of who else you might owe on the house, the taxes, the government, in terms of taxes, have first position and they can foreclose on you. So let's say, for example, you owed $50,000 here for the mortgage, but you owed $10,000 here for taxes. It doesn't matter that you owe the mortgager more and you owe less to the government for taxes. Does not matter at all. They have first position, so they have the right to foreclose on you and take over that property, okay? Take control of that property because you didn't pay them their taxes, all right? So even if you paid off your entire mortgage, right, but then you owe taxes, you can still lose the house, right? Let's say you owe, let's use that same 10,000 as example. If you paid off your entire mortgage and then in retirement you run into some trouble, and you now owe 10,000 plus in taxes, the government can take your house for not being able to pay the tax. All right. So does that sound like you own it at all? That's not owning something. You just have control over it, and you also have the responsibilities that comes with it. So this is why a lot of people get into tax lien investments, because once you owe taxes to the government, that has to be paid. Okay, and if you're not paying it, someone else, an outside investor, could come in and pay the taxes, and that investor is entitled to 18%. In New Jersey, it's 18%. In different states, it's different amount, but I know in New Jersey, it's 18%. That investor will be entitled to get 18%. Whoever wants to come in and pay back that investor, they have to pay that investor the money they put in for the tax, as well as 18%. All right, so the government is always going to get their money. Now, if your house is being foreclosed on for taxes, the mortgager who has an interest in the property has 60 days. Once the paperwork's done and it's announced that it's being foreclosed, this mortgager has 60 days to protect their interest. Again, I know it's 60 days in New Jersey. I'm not sure if that's how it is across the whole United States, but I know it's 60 days in New Jersey. You got to check your individual state to see what it is. So 60 days that mortgager has to come and pay for the taxes. So again, the government is always going to get their money. So that mortgager has 60 days to come and pay those taxes with interest to protect their interests. So now they can take over the property, and they have now ownership of the property, and they could sell it. Obviously, they don't want to keep it because they're not in the business of holding houses. They're in the business of lending money. So they want to sell it and get rid of it, right? So that's how that works, right? So again, no way here do you have ownership. If it could be taken from you by your mortgager, or it could be taken for you, especially by the government, right? And the government is always going to get their money. The government taxes are first position in this, and they have the right, regardless of who else you owe or how much you owe, they have first position. And it doesn't matter, even if you owe them $5,000, whatever it is, they can foreclose on your property, and they're always going to get paid back for that, whether it's by an investor or by the mortgage company who do want to protect their interests. All right, so that's the truth right there. That's how it works. Now, am I saying that you should never get a house? No, I'm just telling you how the game is played, and to understand how the game is played. So two things you have to have into factor if you're gonna have a house. I would recommend make sure you have an asset that's going to pay for it, just in case you get in trouble. You don't have to worry about it. So have an asset that pays for house. Okay? Next, B, just understand the responsibilities that comes with it as well. All right? A lot of people don't calculate this, but there's additional responsibilities: sewage, paying for sewage, being responsible for all repairs, maintenance, garbage. Like, you're responsible for upkeeping the house totally. It's your responsibility. Everything falls on you. All right, but at the same time, it could be taken from you if you don't pay the mortgage or the taxes, or get into some trouble, even if you pay a lot. So hope that makes sense to you guys. Hope you see where I'm coming from. As always, if you do find the information valuable, make sure you give it a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Share this with a friend to let them know exactly how this works as well. And make a comment if you have a comment, or if you have a question. And if you haven't already done so, hit the notification bell so every time I release a video, you're notified. Until next time, see you soon.